Let's talk about leaked financial data, stolen financial data. How does the IRS use this information to build civil and criminal tax cases? And what really happens when your private, stolen information becomes governmental evidence against you? Listen, if you think the IRS could only use information that it obtains legally and directly, I have news for you. Every year, the IRS receives and uses leaked, hacked, stolen, and anonymously delivered and even illegally obtained financial records to build civil and criminal tax cases. They can get your bank data, your crypto history, your business ledgers, your emails, your off-the-books activity. If this information finds its way to the government, even if it was through entirely illegal means, you are not protected the way you likely think you are. Hi, I'm David W. Klasing. I'm a dual licensed tax attorney and CPA, and with a master's degree in taxation and nearly 30 years of experience, I've defended clients against IRS civil audits, eggshell audits, criminal tax investigations, and yes, occasionally against criminal tax prosecutions. Most taxpayers have no idea how low the legal threshold really is for the IRS to use leaked or stolen data against them. Today I'm going to walk you through the rules, the dangers, and how this situation plays out in real-life IRS cases. So first of all, what counts as stolen or leaked data? Let me make this clear. When we talk about leaked or stolen financial information, what I mean is hacked bank records, a disgruntled employee turning over internal ledgers, a spouse giving IRS agents your private tax files, someone turning over stolen emails, someone giving them misplaced client files, whistleblower dumps. How about an anonymous USB drive left on the IRS's doorstep? If someone other than the government obtained the information illegally, the IRS may still be allowed to use it. And that's where most taxpayers totally misunderstand their rights. Let's talk about the Bordeaux rule. Why is the IRS allowed to use this evidence, this illegal evidence? Under a century-old Supreme Court decision, Bordeaux versus McDowell, the government is not responsible for the illegal actions of private citizens. What's the meaning? If a private party steals your financial information and hands that information over to the IRS can often use it because they didn't participate in the theft. Your constitutional rights only protect you against illegal conduct by the government, not by private actors. This shocks most people, and frankly it should. Is there a governmental participation limit under the cases of Janus and Painter? Yes, there are limits, but they're narrow. The IRS generally cannot use evidence if government agents directed the theft, the government knew about it and encouraged it, the government was actively involved in obtaining the stolen information illegally. Cases like Janus and Painter tested those boundaries. But that bar is extremely high. Unless the IRS was directly involved in the misconduct, the stolen evidence survives. And prosecutors are well adept at arguing that they were simply passive recipients of that information. So what does this mean to you in real IRS audits and criminal investigations? When leaked or stolen data reaches the IRS, the agency can open up a civil audit. They can launch a reverse eggshell audit. They can start a criminal tax investigation. They can issue bank summonses. They can subpoena your accountant. They can compare your tax filings to the leaked records. And they can build a parallel evidence trail against you. Listen, by the time they contact you, the IRS may already possess documents you didn't even know were missing. And they rarely reveal their sources. They play their cards really close to their chest. So what are the most common sources of leaked tax data? In real cases, leaked information usually comes from disgruntled insiders, like employees, former partners, bookkeepers, contractors, and especially ex-spouses. These type of people turn over records to the IRS every year. Whistleblowers seeking rewards from the IRS whistleblower office. They can collect 15 to 30% of any recovered revenue. Whatever you do, never brag about committing tax fraud in public. Hacked data or public leaks. The IRS can use information from publicly exposed hacks. As long as they weren't actively involved in obtaining that information, your privacy is not a shield when the data is already widely out in the open. So how does leaked or stolen data lead to criminal charges? This is where the danger spikes off the chart. Leaked documents often reveal unreported income, undisclosed offshore accounts, unreported crypto wallets, cash payments, bribes, altered records, cooked books, personal expenses disguised as business deductions, shell entities where you're hiding income, unreported payroll. Any one of these patterns can transform your case from a simple civil audit into a criminal tax investigation without warning. Once the IRS believes you acted willfully, the case is no longer about simply taxes owed. It becomes about your criminal tax intent. And that's where criminal tax liability is built. What were you thinking when you did what you did? If you discover that someone may have accessed or leaked your financial data, whatever you do, do not contact the IRS yourself and wake a sleeping dog. Do not confront the source that stole from you. Do not try to fix or recreate records. Instead, start by speaking to someone like me, a dual licensed tax attorney and CPA. We're going to secure your systems. We're going to stop all communication with the IRS if we can. Whatever you do, do not let your original accountant speak for you. You need to prepare for a potential eggshell, reverse eggshell, audit, or a criminal tax investigation. You need to reconstruct records carefully. You need to develop a privileged legal strategy. Handled properly, our firm can often contain the fallout and prevent an escalation of a civil issue into a criminal one. Or we can get out in front of the issue altogether with a voluntary disclosure and entirely remove the risk of criminal tax prosecution altogether. So in closing, when financial data leaks, the IRS doesn't ignore it. They use it. And in today's civil and criminal tax enforcement environment, that information could trigger audits, civil fraud penalties, and full-blown criminal investigations followed by prosecution. If you believe or merely suspect your records were stolen, leaked, or anonymously delivered to the IRS, call the tax law offices of David W. Klasing at 800-681-1295 or visit klasing-associates.com to schedule a confidential, reduced-rate initial consultation today. We'll protect your rights, we're going to stabilize your case, and we're going to help you navigate the fallout before the IRS decides your fate for you.